CJ Flyer back with another YouTube video. Today we're going to be looking at the updated ratings for all of the players across the league in NBA 2K24. 2K just dropped these, I believe, today or last night. I'm recording this at 9 p.m. on November 9th, as you can see in the bottom right corner there. And we're just going through, and we got this article here, this blog from 2K about the ratings and some of the changes. They highlight some of the big names up front, like Joel Embiid, whose overall went from a 96 to a 97. Hip hip hooray for him, I guess. And yeah, we're going to go through, just kind of give some feedback, some thoughts on these, react to them a little bit. And yeah, let's go ahead and go forward with it. So Anthony Edwards also getting a little bit of a boost. It's been a long time coming. He should have been a 90 overall to start the game, in my opinion. But man, which team were they playing last night? The Timberwolves. I don't remember who they were playing, but some of those Anthony Edwards highlights wearing the throwback uniforms is just some of the craziest plays I have seen since like LeBron James chase down blocks. I mean, Anthony Edwards was just going insane on offense and defense, fast breaks, both ends. It was insane. And honestly, the whole Timberwolves team is a little bit spooky, a little bit scary right now. Makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable as a Mavs fan, but I mean, I don't know. It is the start of the season. Normally, you want to get heating up towards the end, but I mean, you know, who can be upset as a Timberwolves fan, right? That's probably the best stretch a Timberwolves fan has seen from their team in a long time. So good for them. Anthony Edwards getting the 2 overall boost to a 90 overall. Victor Wembanyama, I'm not really surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this season he's at a 90 overall at this point. Honestly, like him going from 84 to 86 is kind of negligible. He's probably going to hit a 90 overall by the end of the season just because of all the hype around him, even if he doesn't end up averaging a lot of points, which I think he will probably start averaging close to 20 points per game at some point. But those were the big ones that 2K highlighted here in the front of this article. And then moving on down the line, they have all of the updates to players by team. So some of these, it's just like a 1 overall up or down, which I'm going to be honest with y'all. You know, in the past few years, I've been doing like fantasy basketball, so I'm able to keep up to date with the stats of role players and bench players. But recently, like this year, I haven't had the free time to be doing fantasy basketball. I'm taking a year off. I'm just not going to be able to do it this year. So I'm not as, you know, in tune with the bench players and the role players. So like the fact that Jalen Johnson went up 4 overall, I don't know what Jalen Johnson's been doing for the Atlanta Hawks. Got to be honest with you. I really don't know. And then I also don't, you know, because the Hawks aren't in the spotlight of NBA media news and whatnot. I don't know why Trae Young went down 1 overall. I don't know if it's just he's not scoring as much as he has in the past. But he had DeJounte Murray went up 2 overall. So cool stuff. Cameron Thompson, I know why he went up 6 overall. He's had some big games recently that I have seen some of the highlights of. So congratulations to him finally getting over the 80 overall hump. Spencer Dinwiddie taking a little step down and Dorian Finney-Smith taking a little bit of step up. That's good looks there. So yeah, congrats to Cam Thomas. That's pretty awesome. For the Boston Celtics, I don't quite get why Drew's going down 1 overall. I mean, he's probably taking again, this is all just speculation because I don't have the stats in front of me. You know, I'm assuming his stats probably took a little bit of a hit considering he's no longer like the second let me take that back. He was not the second best scorer on the Bucks when he was on the Bucks. But I mean, he was up there. Right now, the scoring options, you got Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Porzingis are all definitely in front of Drew Holiday as scoring options. And then you can make the argument for like 1 or 2 other players. Whereas Drew on the Bucks, you'd probably, I don't remember what his point per game total was, but if he wasn't 3rd in the team in the scoring options, he was definitely 4th. You got Giannis, Middleton, and Drew, and then I was thinking Brook Lopez, but I would think you'd go to Drew over Brook Lopez, just scoring, pure scoring. I'm rambling on the Bucks, and we're talking about the Celtics. That I don't know why. Okay, Hornets. We have some players getting a boost in their ratings. This does not surprise me just from the standpoint of, some of these Hornets players. They're not available anymore. They've had a lot of drama over on that team. So now some other players are getting a chance to shine. So doesn't really surprise me without seeing the stats in front of me and why, real life stats, I should say. I need to clarify real life stats. Not having those in front of me, I don't know why up or down, but yeah, good for PJ Washington especially. I think he's got a lot of potential, so it's good to finally see his ratings gain a boost. The Bulls have had a rocky start to the season. I don't think these overall or not bumps, but these, I guess, bump down. I don't think this is justified. I don't think they deserve to lose their overall rating right now. I think the team as a whole is struggling, and I don't think it's because of individual performances necessarily. So it's kind of sad to see, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan's overall, and Vucevic really see them go down. But I get it, I guess, just because the lack of success from the team. Donovan Mitchell going up one overall. Congrats to him. The Mavericks, I don't know why Kyrie went down one overall. I mean, he has not been the number one scoring option, but again, no one's really expecting Kyrie to be the number one scoring option. I've watched more Mavs games than any other games in the NBA so far this season. I watched them lose to the Nuggets. I stayed up for that whole game. That went so late. They got a late start in that one too, man. Anyways, and that blue court was, oh my gosh, don't even get me started on the in-season tournament courts. If you want to watch me rant about those, I got a video on my other channel. But Kyrie going down one overall, I don't necessarily agree with that, but it is what it is. The other ones, though, yeah, Derek Lively getting one of, if not the biggest bump up in his overall to 79. I think this is very much justified, which is probably a biased opinion, but Derek Lively, the second coming of Tyson Chandler for the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, he's looking so good this early on for a rookie. I mean, his defensive positioning is incredible. He's able to catch lobs and roll well to the hoop. At times he looks a little bit clumsy, but for the most part, man, I mean, Derek Lively is a stud. And, I wish they would also show badges changes in here, like the badges for the players in 2K and not just these overall bumps. I get it. Like, it would just be a lot of information. But yeah, I mean, look at that. 7 up to a 79 overall. Grant Williams also has been scoring a lot. His three-point percentage has been off the charts. So going up to a 79 is also justified, I think. Seth Curry hasn't really played a whole lot, so I don't know what they changed on his to go down one. And Dwight Powell, I mean, he hasn't been bad. He hasn't been, outstanding. I mean, Dwight Powell's been Dwight Powell. To me, nothing really changed, but okay, sure. Thanks 2K for adding the one overall. And then over on the Nuggets, a lot of these bench players. To be honest, though, like Watson was playing decent minutes. I guess I shouldn't call them. I mean, they're coming off the bench, so in that regard, they're bench players. So yeah, they've been contributing a bit, and good on them getting those boosts. The Pistons. What I'm really surprised on here, I would have expected 2K to give a decrease in the rating to Jaden Ivey. Shout out to Jaden Ivey from Purdue. I'm very disappointed that Monty Williams is not giving him the opportunities that he needs as a young player to develop his skills. It's kind of disappointing that Monty Williams comes in and just throws him to the curb. And I'm hoping moving forward in the season that he'll get more of an opportunity to shine. But right now, Jaden Ivey on the Pistons not getting many minutes, and it's very frustrating as a Purdue fan and as an NBA fan because I think he's got a lot of potential. And they're starting Killian Hayes over him, which I just, I don't know, man. Killian Hayes is like the equivalent to Frank Ntilikina on the Mavs, in my opinion. So I don't know why he gets the start, but whatever. Jalen Duren getting a boost. Asar. So I need to correct myself on that later. I'm going to look up his pronunciation. Asar Thompson getting a huge boost. He's been incredible so far coming out the gate. Getting it done on both the defensive end and the offensive end. So +6 overall makes sense to me. I don't know who this guy is, but he's getting a 5 overall boost. And then Wiseman 2K, you need to dump Wiseman's overall. 76, more like 56. I mean, he's bad. He is so bad. I would be shocked if he's even on a roster at the end of the season. I don't know why 2K is giving him the benefit of the doubt. You got to dump his overall. 76 is way too high. Over on the Warriors, I don't have a lot to comment on these. I don't think Trace Jackson Davis from IU has really even got that many minutes, but they boosted his overall to 72, so good for him. Wiggins and Chris Paul and Klay Thompson all getting a little bit of a decrease, and Curry going up one. I don't really have much to say. Over on the Rockets side, Dylan Brooks, I do think he does deserve a little bit of a bump. He got a lot of hate last season, but man, he was all right during that Lakers game, not going to lie. Not scoring-wise, of course, but defense and energy levels. Şengün's probably going to get close to a 90 overall by the end of the season. That's my prediction for him. Jalen Green getting a -1 decrease. That's 2K being generous again. I think they're just trying to hold out because Jalen Green can be kind of streaky, so he might come out and have like a 50-point game next week. That's hard to say, but yeah. And then Reggie Bullock, again, this is a bit generous. Honestly, he'll probably fall even more later. A long time coming here for the Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton at a 90 overall. He should have been a 90 overall at the end of last season, or before the season started. He should have been 90 overall when this game released. I don't know what took him so long. He's incredible. He was on my fantasy team for fantasy basketball last year, getting a double with those assists, and I got to watch him in person like once or twice. Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton's amazing. Neesmith getting a little bit of a bump too. That's to be expected. And yeah, so Halliburton, I think honestly 90 still feels a little bit low. I think he'll get up even higher, or at least I hope so. Kawhi getting a little bit of a bump down. Okay. Lakers, D'Angelo Russell getting a little bit of bump down. Gabe Vincent finally coming down back to earth. He's a bit of a streaky shooter in real life. So in 2K, 76, I mean, I'd even bump him down like a 74 or 72. Christian Wood, 78 is way too generous, and that is my biased take as a Mavs fan. Okay, Desmond Bane, 85, getting a little bit of a bump up. And then, yeah, we got some bumps down from some players there. Jimmy Butler going down to a 94. Not really sure that's, I don't know. The Heat are so hard to rate sometimes because regular season Miami Heat are so much different than playoffs Miami Heat. So, I don't know. I guess they just felt the need to do something since, the Heat haven't exactly been showing out. Tyler Hero, he just got injured, but he's been balling out, kind of keeping the Heat afloat a little bit, if you want to call it a float, I guess. They're still losing games, but up to an 85 overall. Over to the Bucks. I have no idea who the heck this guy is. I'm going to be completely honest. No idea at all who Marjan is. But good for him. He's getting the bump to 76 overall. Dame, I know he's struggled in a couple games, so I guess that's why they thought, we'll just bump him one. I don't know. I would have kept him 94, whatever. He'll be back up later in the season. A bit of an overreaction, I think, to drop him one overall. And all right, moving on. Anthony Edwards, this is a long time coming as well. I also think he probably should have started the season, game release, 90 overall. Some of these other players, Naz Reid, I think Naz Reid is like a buy now. Like he's going to continue to go up as well. Naz Reid, could easily see him getting to 85 overall by the end of the season. Zion, this is a bit of an overreaction to me. I think he'll be back up to a 90 plus later in the season. CJ McCollum, he gets a collapsed lung and he gets 1+ overall for it, I guess. But jokes aside, hope he is able to recover and be able to continue like nothing happened, I hope. So he's a good dude, and hopefully he settles at this 85 overall. I think that's fine where he's at. Some of these -1s, +1s, I'm just like, whatever. Down to the Knicks. Julius Randle, I mean, if he keeps playing the way he's been playing, he deserves to be like a 70 overall. I mean, it's so bad. so bad right now. Some of the worst shooting percentages I've ever seen from a former All NBA player besides Ben Simmons. Yeah, not looking good. And some of these other guys, where's DiVincenzo? I feel like DiVincenzo should get a bump up, but he's not on this list. So it is what it is. The Thunder, Chet Holmgren, yeah, now that we've seen him play a few games, of course he's going to get the bump up to over 80 overall. I'm not sure I'm rated 83 for some reason to me just still feels a little bit high, and Giddey's 81 feels a little bit low. We'll see by the end of the season. I don't know that Chet gets close to a 90, but I could see like an 85. Dort getting a little bit of a boost, and Cason Wallace getting the rookie bump up after the beginning of the season. Cole Anthony, 81 overall. Jonathan Isaac getting a bump down, and then we got some other players here. Going over the 76ers, of course, all these guys deserve bump ups after Harden left, and the Sixers are still balling out. They're still playing well. So Embiid gets one bump up. Tyrese Maxey, honestly, I could see him being a 90 overall by the end of the season. I know that sounds a little bit insane, but if he keeps it up and the Sixers don't trade for another star player, which realistically they probably will, because why get the picks and not go for the star player to go for the championship? But if they don't trade for the star player, I think Tyrese has a really good chance getting the 90 overall. I think the 87 is warranted. For the most part so far, I think a lot of these rating changes are pretty justifiable from the limited knowledge that I have. It's just a couple of them. Like, I'm nitpicking like Kyrie going down one overall, but I kind of get it. I get not really. Anyways, okay. Phoenix Suns. Nurkic, he's going to drop to like a 75 by the end of the season. I'm calling it now. Eric Gordon up to a 78. I don't think the bump down for Okogie and Watanabe, I don't think these are warranted at all. Shaden Sharp for the Trailblazers. Oh yeah, he deserves that bump. That's a good bump up. Ayton and Robert Williams. Why is Robert Williams getting a knockdown in his overall? He got injured. I don't think he had a chance to really do anything. And to be honest, like, decreasing these guys' ratings solely due to like their stats is ridiculous, because they both play the same position, so they're both going to average less numbers than they have for their previous teams. I mean, Ayton was a starting center for a team competing for the championship. Well, actually, both of these teams were starting centers for teams competing for championships, and now they have to share the court, which they don't share the court. It's they take turns. So I don't get, like, no, don't bump their ratings down. Scoot Henderson, he's been underwhelming to say the least. 75. I feel like this is a bit. I would have kept him at 78. Honestly, bit of an overreaction. Maybe 77. I wouldn't have bumped him down to 75 so quickly. I think that's a bit much. And then we got some other guys getting a little bump up. So I'm assuming bench players that performed well. Victor Wembanyama, we just talked about him. That bump up is fine with me. And then a lot of these other plus ones, minus ones, negligible. Sabonis getting the knockdown. A lot of Kings players getting bumped down a little bit. I'm not really in tune with what's going on with the Kings, so I can't really comment on that. The Raptors, Scotty Barnes getting that big bump up to an 86. I would not rate him higher than Siakam though. That's a bit much. At the very least, keep him on the same level. I don't know that I'd be so quick to crown Scotty Barnes as the highest overall over Siakam. So I don't like that. Schroeder getting the bump up. I don't think he should go any higher than 80 unless he just really starts averaging like 20 and 10 or something. The Jazz, don't really know a lot about what's going on over there, to be honest. Walker Kessler, it's sad to see his overall go down. And then the Washington Wizards, a lot of decreases and then a couple big increases. Jordan Poole going down to an 81. I feel like 2K is hesitant to bump him down below an 80, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I find it funny that they did bump him down at all. I don't know what the stats are saying. All I know is he's taking a lot of questionable shots from the highlights I've seen. He looks like J.R. Smith or Nick Young 2.0, and I'm all here for it. So, yeah, all in all, most of these ratings, they don't seem too bad. I can get behind them. It's just a few of them. I nitpick a little bit and some predictions and things where 2K's finally catching up with reality. Tyrese Halliburton, I mean, make him like a 93 or a 94 overall. I'm just saying he's a beast. I think he could easily be a 94 by the end of the season. That's my hot take. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Do you agree, disagree with the ratings, with my thoughts? Let me know. I'd love to discuss. Like and subscribe for more NBA 2K and video game videos. And I will see you all on the next one. Peace.